Hello there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Pageant Launchpad, where we celebrate the courage to be fearlessly authentic. I am the director of South Dakota America Pageants, and I am the editor and owner of the Pageant Launchpad magazine. We are starting also the Pageant Launchpad coaching team. You'll see more of that on our Facebook. And today I have an incredibly special episode because I have Monica with me. She is Mrs. Wyoming 2000. She has an incredible story, and we're going to pull back the curtain on some of the most nerve-wracking parts of any pageant competition. So if you're watching this and you are one of those people who believe that I could never do a pageant, I don't know how to interview, I get nervous about stuff, but you want to grow into being able to be a speaker and being a voice for whatever charitable group that is in your heart, this is the place to be. And the interview stuff is this is gonna be amazing, because when you get to know Monica, her story is incredible. That's all I have to say. Her story is incredible. So Monica's here because she's a very authentic woman, and I have such great respect for her. And the truth is that interview isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared and authentically you. So all y'all grab your notebooks, settle in, and let's dive in. So I'm going to ask Monica some questions, and she's going to give us the answers that come from her heart. And here's the first question. Monica, are you ready?
I am. Thank you so much for having me, Charlene.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Your story is incredible. I have loved our friendship since the day that we met. Let's get to the questions, because I know our viewers are excited. Yeah. So Monica, take us back to 2000. What made you first decide to compete for Mrs. Wyoming?
I was unexpectedly entered into the pageant by my sister-in-law as an opportunity for growth and to expand my horizons and learn something more than just being the tomboy that I was raised to be. She'd been in pageantry for a long time, and I had no experience in it at all. So she thought this would be a fun opportunity for me to try. So here I am.
You won. Isn't that amazing?
It was crazy. Who does that?
So what were your biggest fears? And we're going to talk about interview. What were your biggest fears going into the interview portion? Were you a naturally confident public speaker, or did this scare the crap out of you?
Well, I didn't know what to expect because I've never done pageant before. No experience at all. So I went into it just with the thought and the mentality that I'm just going to go in. They weren't pageant judges. They were just people. And with that, I felt a lot more relaxed just in myself. I was authentic in my answers. I was not the perfect pageant person by any means. I'd never done one before. So I was just authentically myself, and my answers were not scripted. So it just was a lot of off the cuff stuff.
I love that. And I love that you felt like you could just be yourself. So walk us through the preparation process. How many months in advance did you start preparing, and what did that look like day to day?
Well, that's the because I didn't have months to prepare. I had weeks. And so that said, I'm like I say, I'm not the typical pageant person. I had weeks to prepare, so I leaned on the generosity of my girlfriends and borrowed a lot of clothes. I did a few pageant sessions with a coach, and they took me as far as they could, with the small amount of time that we had. So I was just basically just winging it, which is unusual for pageantry because this is something that you really take seriously, and a lot of people prepare for a very long time to do it. I unfortunately was not a person.
Well, when you only have a couple of weeks,
I
you only
know.
have a couple, you could do what you can do. And you were authentic. So you loved who you were. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. And that's what we're all about is being that authentic you. So you did work with a coach. How much of self-teaching did you do for your preparation and interview?
Oh boy, that's the part that I did practice. Um, back in the day, we didn't have cell phones like this, so I had this and VHS recorder that you like put on your shoulder like a ghetto blaster. And I would just record myself, just random questions. Um, my husband, when he came home, he would just ask me just crazy questions, just like off the wall. I'd be making dinner and just he'd ask me a serious pageant question, and I had to like really pause and reflect and try to give it my best. I'm naturally a very fast speaker, so for me, I really had to learn to pause, reflect, think of the answer, and then
Mm.
go.
I love that you took the moment to pause. That is so important with interview. It gives you that moment to big breath in and it just kind of calms everything, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
So what was the interview format for Mrs. Wyoming 2000? So there, how many judges were there? How long was it? What was the setting like?
Um, this was a panel of 5 judges. So for somebody who, I don't know if it's just for somebody who's never done pageantry before or people that have done, it's very intimidating.
Mm.
Um, kind of feel like you're on a firing line. You can't, it's hard to make genuine connections with each one when you're trying to look at all of them collectively and individually at the same time. I much prefer at nationals, and how you do it with just an individual judge where you're sitting there one on one. You can make that personal connection. I learned a lot to mirror the
Mhm.
judges' behaviors, um, because I do speak fast. If somebody that I'm speaking with speaks a lot slower than I do, they're not going to relate to me, and I might annoy them, to be honest with you. You know, so just a lot of practicing. My ghetto blaster, uh, tape
Okay.
recorder, but yeah, that was it. So the panel judging, it was very nerve-wracking, if I'm being completely honest. I would much rather prefer just individual judging.
I feel like the round robin is more intimate. The panel is okay be, for keeping rogue judges kind of in line, and it is intimidating
Yeah.
for me. I know for me when I was doing the panel, that was scary because there's all of these people, and sometimes when you're not trained or don't know yourself, you kind of go in and you go, all these people are judging me all at once.
Yes. Yeah, very intimidating if you get into your head about it, and then once you get into your kind of buried, and then you're trying to play catch up, and it's really hard at that point.
Yeah. So um I feel like interview isn't about memorizing. Like you had mentioned, you didn't do it wasn't scripted and it was free flowing. You knew who you were strong in who you were. And I really think that that's a lot of building your own authentic confidence. Would you agree with that, or do you have anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah, yeah, I do.
And I know things, I wrote an article for the Pageant Launchpad magazine because I'm the editor, and I recently wrote an article about how platforms, the whole culture of pageantry is about to change. It has been since COVID. Um, when you did your interview, how much of your platform was part of that? Part of your interview? Because I know before they didn't, it wasn't like a super highlighted thing. And now it's pretty dense in the pageant industry.
Yeah, they asked about my platform, just kind of iced over it a lot.
Mm,
And I wanted to do more of a deep dive on it, but I
mhm,
was doing their lead. Now what I would do would I would take the opportunity to pivot and
mm,
bring in my platform. Um, I didn't know to do it at that time. I understand to do that now.
yeah.
Um, and that works in every facet of life as well.
Mhm.
Just pivot to get to the point that you want to bring awareness to. Um, yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Okay. When you first walked in the door, that first 30 seconds, tell me how you felt.
I felt like Cinderella. Um, you know, I was, like all little girls, you grew up, me personally, I grew up watching pageants on TV.
Mhm.
And I would out my little notebook and I would take scores and I would be so enamored, with the beauty and the pageantry of it all. So when I was actually like on that part of it, it was kind of like an outer body experience. It was really fun. It was very nerve wracking because I hadn't done it before. But I thought, you know what? What do I have to lose? I could just go in there and just be myself. And if I'm what they're looking for, great. But if not, it's still an awesome opportunity. And I walked away from it with like so many memories that I would have never had before and connections. Really awesome.
I love that. And I love that you have actually expanded into new awareness opportunities, because I have seen you go from being quiet, and when we first met, you were really quiet and you were sweet, and now you're still sweet. Now you have expanded, and you're not even competing anymore. You have expanded your awareness for abuse and trauma. I love that. It seems like you've just taken it to a whole new level. Is that because of your own story, and did you document that?
Are you speaking of my personal story or my pageant story?
Your
My
personal story, because your
personal
pageant story was lovely, but this is outside of
story.
pageantry.
Yeah, my personal story is not that cute. Um, I had a lot of how do we say a lot of trauma. I was in an abusive relationship and married to a man that wasn't as kind to me as anybody would want them to be. And that took place for a long time. And I didn't understand why I stayed for as long as I did.
Mhm.
Um, and then finally, when I broke that cycle and ended it in June of 2023, I really took a step back. I didn't date anybody. I didn't go out and do anything crazy. I just really wanted to take a deep dive into myself and understand, if I think I'm so smart, why did I stay for as long as I did? And then I just started peeling back the onion of
Mhm.
Monica. And I really
Yes.
learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about codependency. I learned a lot about domestic violence. I learned a lot about narcissistic relationship abuse.
Mhm.
And I feel that nothing happens. And God gave me that experience, not to punish me now, I am understanding, but to go out and help other women that have been in my position, working with them on a safety plan, doing the 12 steps of codependency, the it gave me lemons at the time, but now I'm turning it into fabulous, like sparkle, like what is it? What is that? Strawberry lemonade. Something
I
really,
love it.
it's just it's all what you make of it. It's not cute, and it's not something that we talk about in pageantry. And I think that's when you and I really connected, when I was doing a Facebook Live, and my what I was talking to the contestants about was your mindset.
Mhm.
Into it with a great mindset, it'll change everything. And yeah, that was just, I'm so thankful that
I
I have this path now, and I can be a servant and help other women that have been in my position, or even men, working with them safety plan as well.
Mhm. I love how you took what happened to you into what happened for you. I absolutely
I
love it.
baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. How did you get so it's taken some time for you to get to this spot right here where you are now, where you just blown up in this amazing um, uh, platform and you're changing lives. How did you get to the point where it became crystal clear that this was what you were meant to do?
I think that came crystal clear for me when I understood me a lot better. And if there
Mhm.
were that were like me, that were in abusive relationships, um, like maybe they don't have the tools to be equipped to understand it. Maybe they think it's their fault, but I'm here to tell you it's not. It is not at all. So once we understand us ourselves internally a lot more, um, you're just gonna be like in this state of mind where you might be victim, you might be angry, and those are all parts of the wave that we experience, but just don't stay there.
Right.
Don't stay there.
I love that. I love that. Did you, I know 2000 was a little different. I think 2023 was pivotal because COVID had been done and COVID had elevated the internet technological advancement. I think it pushed it right forward for pageantry because we don't need to have like a TV show or any of those major sponsors or anything to be a voice now. Um, so I feel like there's a huge difference between what was and what is now and what's going to be coming as far as interview preparation. So now there's coaches that mentorship that are much more widely available, and you can be anywhere and work with a coach. How how did you deal with, did you have a mentor? Did you have a coach?
I did for a very tiny period of time, just because my time frame was so small. So I did work with my then sister-in-law, who is deeply involved in pageantry in another state from Wyoming. She helped me the best as she could. But me, I was raised a tomboy.
Yeah.
Like, this was just foreign land to me that I just wasn't grasping. Yes, I watched it on TV when I was little, and that's pretty much where it stayed. The rest of the time, I was out hunting bull snakes and riding my BMX bike and jumping cliffs and into the water. Just it was just a foreign thing to me. So with that, I had to have a sharp learning curve. It
Hmm.
really focus on the task at hand, and that was not to slouch, not to say
Hmm.
my filler words like ums and maybes, things like that. So I had a quick learning curve, and yeah, I think, it all worked out well for me.
So when you had that quick learning curve, did the person that was coaching you or mentoring you, did they do like rapid fire questions with you?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
they did. They did. And I thought that was really fun. Because it keeps you
Because it keeps
sharp.
you sharp.
Mhm.
And yeah, I like that. I thought that was a lot of fun. I hope that
Awesome. Tell me what your practice routine was like. How did you simulate the pressure that you would assume that you would feel in the actual interview?
um well, I had people ask me just mock questions, just like randomly. I videotape myself. Um, the pressure of it, I think the pressure of it for me was it's like more in my head of the unexpected
Mhm.
and the fear of the unknown.
Mhm.
Put more pressure on myself than I needed
Did
to.
too.
And I think that when you take that pressure off of yourself and just go in there, mentality of this is who I am, and if I'm good enough that you like me, that's great. But I'm gonna stay true to who I am because there's nobody better at being me than me,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. I love that you felt like you're a tomboy and you did all these fun things that, aren't typically girl stuff. Like you and I know. I was a bull rider, you rode BMX, right? So we get it. And I love that pageantry is not just for the perfect girls.
Yeah.
I'm watching pageantry really closely and I'm seeing a lot of this, um, the pageants that expect perfection
Oof.
are falling. Their girls are so stressed out. They're falling apart. A lot of stuff is happening. And if directors and pageant systems don't start shifting to authenticity, to women who wouldn't be your typical pageant girl, then they're going to lose a whole demographic of people like you and like me who don't fit that old school model.
Yeah.
But now we have this new school. And that's not to say that we're pushing all of the things aside from old school. We're just amplifying them and opening the playing field for women like you and I. So,
A really great example of that. When I was in nationals, lucky for me it was in Hawaii. Um
lucky.
I my roommate and I, she had been in pageantry her whole entire life. So this was her finish line of the marathon. And me, shoot, this was only the second one I was in, and the first one was just 2 weeks ago. Uh, so, honestly, I understood that there was a lot of girls that had trained their whole life to do this. And I was just there just to myself and to have fun. I really didn't think that I was going to win, but I still was going to try. Um, so my roommate, she would stay up late and she would be doing crunches in the bathroom and crying all night and just doing a lot of really extra things that what she felt she needed to do to be that perfect pageant girl. Me, on the
Yeah.
other, I gained 5 pounds. Why they had an all you can eat buffet? And it was great. And I made friends. Neither one of us made it at top 10. The experience that we had is very different. So we have the same outcome, but completely different experiences. So the experience is actually going to be what you make it. And so
Mhm.
going to be doing this, just make it good. Just make it good
Mhm.
for you, not for anybody else, just for you.
Yeah. And that's important. Having that self-care and giving yourself permission to just enjoy the journey is so important. It's important for your mental health and it's important for your journey. I love when women come into the pageant and they're doing this for personal growth. They're doing it to challenge themselves. They're doing it to elevate and amplify themselves. I love that. And I love that I get to connect you with all of those women who were tomboys or are tomboys or are not your typical pageant ideology. So I love that. And I love you so much. And I so appreciate you being here and doing this with me. You're amazing. And I look forward, next time we'll do this better. But I look forward to collaborating with you more because I feel like you have something amazingly important to say. So I want to thank you for being with us today. And you look beautiful. The dress is super cute. I love it. I feel special. She dressed up.
Yeah,
Um,
but you know
so
what, TJ, you too have a very amazing story.
I
And
do.
and you're such a special person, and the courage that it's taking you to go from point A to point B, it takes a lot of guts, and it takes a lot of strength and a lot of willpower and a lot of passion. And I just admire the daylights out of you. I think that you're probably like one of my favorite friends.
I love you so much. I I really want women like you and I who have something special to say, who have a healing heart for others to join pageantry and experience it. Even if they only do it 1 year, it's an experience that I think that they would, it's a personal growth journey. I did it for 15 years, whatever, right? But
But you
I
fun and you met a lot of new people.
I did. I did. I learned a lot, especially my last couple of years. It was an incredible journey. And then I got to make friends with people like you who I'm so connected with and just be a voice for my own charitable groups. Now I get to help other women to grow and become who they want to be and speak for who they want to speak for, as long as it's not political, because we don't do politics in our pageant, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming, and we'll talk again soon. I really appreciate you. For right now, we're going to end this interview. I am so thankful that everybody was able to make it. If you have any more questions for Monica, please feel free to send her a message on Facebook. Yeah, call her. We won't put that out there because we don't know who's watching, right? But and I will connect you with her if you send me a message if you're not already connected to her. So thank you again. And thank you, Monica. I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. And well, get out there and be fearlessly authentic.
Bravo. Thank you.
Thank you.